and good evening to the beloved teachers and my fellow friends. I am Nuranis Eliana binti Muhammad Supian as a leader of this group. I would like to introduce my members, Anorexia binti Rusli, Siti Nur Nazifa binti Nori, and Putri Zahira binti Zakaria. We are representing Group 2 from First Time 1. So, the title of this project is Voyage down Alimentary Canal, where we made a model that shows about digestive system. The most important that this model is made from recycled materials. Therefore, the cost is relatively cheap and economical. For examples, we use infra-corrugated pot to represent the background of this model, a small bulb to represent the salivary glands, the aquarium vacuum cleaner to represent the mouth, esophagus and stomach, a soap bottle to represent the liver, a powder bottle to represent the pancreas, a sink water filter to represent the gallbladder, a small washing machine outlet hose to represent the small intestine, and a big washing machine outlet hose to represent the big intestine. As we know that digestion is the process that breaks down large and complex pieces of food into smaller and simple pieces that can be dissolved for easy absorption. Digestion is made up of two parts. There are physical digestion and chemical digestion. Physical digestion means the mechanical breakdown of food to form small particles, and it involves chewing and peristalsis. Chemical digestion means the decomposition process of complex molecules into simple molecules, and it involves enzymes reaction. So, we will show you how the digestion process of fried chicken and rice work using our model.
The digestive process begins in the mouth. The presence of food, which are fried chicken and rice, in the mouth stimulates the secretion of saliva from the salivary glands. The saliva contains salivary amylase that hydrolyzes starch to maltose. This means in the mouth, carbohydrate, which is rice, will be broken down into smaller pieces. The saliva helps food to form bolus and makes it easier to be swallowed. When swallowing, the epiglottis will close the trachea opening to prevent food from entering the trachea. In the esophagus, the food bolus is moved by peristalsis. So, what is peristalsis? Peristalsis is the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of muscles along the alimentary canal. Peristalsis pushes the bolus through the esophagus until it enters the stomach. When food bolus enters the stomach, the digestion of protein will begin. As chicken contains high protein, chicken will be broken down into smaller pieces in the stomach. First of all, the surface of the stomach wall is lined with epithelial cells that have undergone adaptations in structure and function to form gastric glands. These epithelial cells are chief cells, parietal cells, and mucous cells. The chief cells will secrete pepsinogen while parietal cells secrete hydrochloric acid and mucous cells will secrete mucus. Pepsinogen that has been secreted by chief cells is an inactive enzyme that is activated by hydrochloric acid to become pepsin. Pepsin then hydrolyzes proteins into polypeptides. There are three functions of hydrochloric acid that has been secreted by parietal cells. One of the functions is to prepare a medium with suitable pH, which is pH 1.5 to 2.0 for pepsin to act. Other than that, hydrochloric acid also stops the enzymatic action of salivary amylase. Furthermore, hydrochloric acid also kills bacteria in food. Next, the function of mucus that has been secreted by mucous cells is to protect the stomach wall from the reaction of hydrochloric acid and digestive enzymes. The food in the stomach is mixed with gastric juice made up of hydrochloric acid and pepsin. Food is churned by the peristaltic action of the stomach wall muscles for a few hours. The contents in the stomach finally change to a semi-fluid called chyme. Chyme enters the duodenum slowly when the sphincter muscle relaxes.
Chyme will enter the duodenum where carbohydrate, protein, and lipid digestion takes place. The duodenum will receive bile from the gallbladder that is synthesized in the liver. Bile has three functions. First, neutralize acidic chyme. Next, it will prepare an alkaline medium for the action of the enzyme pancreatic amylase, lipase, and trypsin. And finally, it will emulsify lipids into lipid droplets so as to increase the total surface area for lipase activity. Next, the duodenum will receive pancreatic juice from the pancreas. Pancreatic juice contains the enzyme pancreatic amylase, lipase, and trypsin. The pancreatic amylase enzyme hydrolyzes starch into maltose. Lipase will hydrolyze lipids into fatty acids and glycerol, and trypsin will hydrolyze polypeptides into shorter peptides. Glands on the ileum wall secrete mucus and intestinal juice that contains maltase, sucrase, lactase, and irisin. In carbohydrate digestion, maltase hydrolyzes maltose into glucose, sucrase hydrolyzes sucrose into glucose and fructose, and the last one, lactase hydrolyzes lactose into glucose and galactose. Then, lipase will hydrolyze lipids into fatty acids and glycerols in lipid digestion. And the last one is protein digestion. Irisin hydrolyzes peptides into amino acids. After that, simple molecules produced from the digested foods are absorbed in the ileum of the small intestine because its internal layer is folded and covered by tiny projections called villas.
After the absorption of nutrient is completed in the ileum, and digested food, dead cells, epithelial cells, and water enter the large intestine and move slowly through peristaltic action. The large intestine carries out two main functions. First is absorption of water and vitamin. Second is formation of feces. So, the undigested food will go through the colon of the large intestine. In the colon, absorption of water and vitamin B6 and B12 are obtained by fried chicken, while vitamin E and K from rice. Next, after the water is absorbed, the remaining waste is a semi-solid called feces. Feces contains dead cells from inner layer of the intestine, waste products such as bile pigment, bacteria, and toxic substances. The wall of the large intestine secrete mucus to smoothen the movement of feces until the anus. The movement of feces take about 12 to 24 hours before entering the rectum. The feces will accumulate in the rectum until the pressure in the rectum increases and triggers the need to expel feces from the body. The rectum muscle will contract to expel feces from the anus. This process is called defecation.
There are a lot of health issues related to eating habits. One of the health issues is gastritis. Gastritis refers to the inflammation and corrosion of the stomach epithelial layer by gastric juice when there is no food in the stomach. Untreated gastritis can result in gastric ulcers. The causes of gastritis include eating irregular quantities of food at irregular hours and excessive intake of alcohol or painkillers. The second health issues related to eating habits is bulimia nervosa. For people with bulimia nervosa who are also obsessed with controlling their body weight, they will eat a lot and vomit out the food that they have eaten or take laxatives that cause diarrhea. In the long run, the patient may suffer from dehydration, nutritional problems, and eventually cardiovascular disease or kidney failure.
Next is anorexia nervosa. Anorexia nervosa is quite common amongst teenage girls who are obsessed with their body weight. Anorexics will avoid food to achieve their ideal body weight. They also suffer from psychological problems and nutrient deficiency because of their normal digestive system is affected. Lastly is obesity. Obesity is caused by the storage of excess fats as a result of imbalanced food intake and use of energy. Individuals who are obese need to reduce the intake of carbohydrates and fats as well as increase the intake of vegetables and fruits. Otherwise, a diet with excessive saturated fats and high cholesterol may cause diabetes mellitus and various cardiovascular diseases such as arteriosclerosis and hypertension, which may result in heart attacks or stroke if not treated. We know that extreme obesity is due to the accumulation of fat in the body. Moreover, for those who are obese are prone to a variety of diseases and dangers. By following this issue, we have collected weights and heights information for 10 students. These weights and heights are collected for us to calculate the BMI of the students. BMI is important because it is used to assess on individuals' health risks that are closely linked to overweight and obesity. From our observation, there are 50% of the students are underweight, 30% of the students are normal, 10% of the students are overweight, and 10% are obesity. Hence, there are some suggestions from us to overcome obesity by doing exercises 3 times a week. Also, they can adopt a balanced diet. For example, they can practice this diet according to the food pyramid. As the conclusion, this digestive system is really important to rid of unabsorbed waste. So, it is clear here that a good digestive system gives a good health to ourselves.